down.
All right. Can I have some reverb?
Remember, Evan, they're always there in the good times and in the bad times. You know what I'm saying? They let you know what you're getting before you do what they ask you to do, and you know what I'm saying.
Doing a tribute to one of the most incredible records of our time is really something to be a part of.
Oh, baby, what you've done to me. You make me feel.
And I guess it's never too late to discover something beautiful, to discover Carole King. She's extraordinary.
Just go into another phone jack. Here we go.
Sitting I'll be there.
It was one of those things where you just remember exactly where you were and exactly what you were doing in your life when you heard the album for the first time. A guitar player friend of mine turned me onto the album. He said, sit down and listen to this because it's going to change your life.
Being songwriters ourselves, we had great respect for people like Carol and Jerry Goffin, who came up with these songs that inspired us to write, like the Beatles did, like Lennon and McCartney did, a lot of people around those days.
Bacharach and Hal David.
I wore that record out. I remember when it came out, all the girls in the class I was in, we just played it and played it and played it. I had the music at home, I played it on the piano. My favorite song, I think, is Will You Love Me Tomorrow? Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Oh.
I couldn't help but hear this stuff. I grew up on this stuff. It was the stuff I heard driving around in my mother's car when I was a kid. This was very, the radio had more, I think, to do with my forming as a musician and as a songwriter than anything else.
I was born in '67, and that wasn't what I listened to growing up. But I was definitely aware of who Carole King was. And a lot of my songwriter friends are huge fans of hers, and I've become a very huge fan.
The thing that comes through in the Tapestry album, it's an honesty and a simplicity that's almost unmatched today. I don't think anybody's ever quite pushed that button that Carole pushed.
I got a call from Evan Lamberg and asked me if I wanted to be involved in the Carole King tribute album, and I said absolutely, from the very beginning. And he asked me who I thought I'd like to work with. My first choice was Amy because we were in the middle of the project working on her new album, and I thought it'd be great to be able to do it. The fact that it was Carole King, that's one of my favorites of all time. I admire her songwriting. I admire the quality, and it's just great songs. That's what songwriting is about. It's not her writing wasn't defined by what drum group she was writing with at the time, or what technology was there, or synthesizers. It's all just right off the piano. It's really great songwriting at its best.
Well, I walked in here today, and Keith played me the track, and immediately I'm thrown back to my lime green room and white shag carpet as a child, and I remembered every lick and most of the lyrics. Carole King, her music was just my whole life, 6th grade, 7th grade. From then on, obviously I loved it, but I'm talking hours every day. I studied every lyric, every line or note. I tried to sing just like her. We took a break from recording, and I went in and called my 6th grade boyfriend, who was actually on a flight coming home from New Zealand, because I thought only Johnny will know what this means to me. But I had to find somebody that I knew very well back then to say, she was our idol, and I get to sing her songs. I related on a real gut level to Carole because I felt that the reason people were drawn to her music was because she sang from her heart and she threw her soul into it. It's not that she had unbelievable chops, but she had a lot of heart. When I was a kid and I would sing, I just kept thinking, if you just lose yourself in it and throw yourself into the music, like the music that you loved as a kid, which was Carole King, and people will believe you. And that's really what it comes down to. So what a fabulous example she was to me.
Stayed in bed all morning just to pass the time. There's something wrong here, there can be no denying. One of us is changing, or maybe we just stopped trying. And it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside is dying and I can't hide and I just can't fake it. Oh, no, no, no. It used to be so easy living here with you. You were light and breezy and I knew just what to do. Now you look so unhappy and I feel like a fool. And it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside is dying and I can't hide and I just can't fake it. Oh, no, no. There'll be good times again for me and you, but we just can't stay together. Don't you feel it too? Still, I'm glad for what we had and how I once loved you. But it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside is dying and I can't hide and I just can't fake it. Oh, no, 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 no. It's too late, baby. It's too late now, darling. It's too late.
My parents bought the Tapestry album, and so I heard it a lot when I was a kid. You know, you've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face. So while we were listening to the album, my wife and I, and Beautiful came on, and she went, "You got to do that one." And I went, "I don't know." There were a couple of songs that I just felt I didn't have a feel for lyrically, because I think some of the lyrics on her album really have a strong female point of view. You know, a lot of Carole King's songs have that. And my wife just kind of challenged me. She said, "You could make something cool out of that. You could give it a groove and you could turn it into something cool." And it was like, you know, I couldn't say no anymore because she challenged me. My wife Cynthia challenged me. So I've never done anybody else's song before. So I had to really live with the song enough to try and make it my own and try and make it fresh and change a couple of things about it while, you know, staying true to the nucleus of the song. The chord changes were pretty hip. I mean, they were pretty interesting. I worked with a lot, and I got great musicians to come and kind of play out some of the ideas that I had for it. And my engineer, Bill Drescher's, my right hand in the studio. He gets things to sound the way I want them to sound. It's really a huge amount of teamwork. I come up with a real specific arrangement of what I want, and I go to each player and I go, okay, I think the guitar should play this and the bass should play this. When you get my ideas in the hands of great musicians, what they bring to it makes it cool. They make my kind of silly ideas sound great.
You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Waiting at the station with the workday wind blowing, I've got nothing to do but watch the passers by. Mirrored in their faces, I see frustration growing, and they don't see it showing. Why do I? You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. People gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Myself the reason for the sadness in a world where tears are just a lullaby. If there's any answer, maybe love can end the madness. Maybe not, but we can only try. Yeah, yeah. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful, beautiful. You're beautiful, beautiful as you feel.
What I really respect and admire is longevity and the people that continue to make good records. It's those songs, those rare songs that strike a chord with, a mass of people, and then continue to, span generations. I mean, you can't really, just because somebody has a million-selling single or a #1 record for 5 weeks doesn't necessarily mean that anybody's going to remember that song in 3 years, or that that audience's kids are going to get off on it. But there are those songs, and Carole King's, written not just one, but several of them, that, my parents bought the Tapestry album, and here I am playing this. I'm going to be playing this album for my kids. So there you go. There's, 3 generations right there.
We felt really privileged to be on this album because it's a real honour for us to be on the same album as such prestigious artists like Aretha Franklin and BB and stuff, especially for this one over here because she absolutely loves them, and Bernie, they grew up listening to gospel music, and the song that we did was cool too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I Feel the Earth Move.
Yeah. King has written so many great hits. We were listening to BB do one of her great songs, You Got a Friend, and Aretha Franklin and Cece. It's absolutely fabulous to hear everyone tribute her with songs that you hear all the time, but you never knew one writer actually wrote all of them, which, you know...
It's good to go up there and show respect to such a good singer and songwriter, and that's what, you know, lacks in some of the business. You don't actually give a person a pat on the back and say, you know, you've done really well and this is just for you. So, you know, it's special. This album's very special.
To be here with such artists that have been through so many generations, and also her music.
Great song has got to be not only the melody, but it's the words as well. They've all got to have meaning. The melody's not got to be something short and vibey. It's got to be something that you can take it anywhere. Anyone can sing it, and it's still a great song. I think that's what makes a song last through generation to generation.
That was the main twist, was to make it leap almost 25 years into the 90s and still be a fabulous song.
I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the skies tumbling down. I feel my heart starts trembling whenever you're around. Whenever you're around.
I was fortunate enough to write 3 of the songs on the album. 2 of them were old hits, and I'm lucky they got on the album. I mean, I look at it as Carol's album, but Smackwater Jack was the only original song I wrote for it. And I'm the lyricist. I write the words.
By the 50s and 60s, the songwriters were really like working with the artists and the record producers. It was all happening in the mind at once.
Carol's very bright. She believed in herself. And we had this innocence we wrote into our songs, and that probably was a major reason why they were so successful. Carol and I were married. Most of the time, Carol would come up with the first few lines of melody. I was always over-exuberant while she was the master, and we used to fight about the direction a song should go. Looking back, if I left it to our own devices, we might have had more hits.
Carole King, Jerry Goffin, Jeff Barry, Ellie Greenwich, Doc Pomus, Mort Schumann, even Neil Sedaka, all those people that were working in the Brill Building at that time got into the idea of thinking of hooks.
We didn't write in the Brill Building, we wrote in 1650 Broadway. It was similar to the Brill Building. They had writers' rooms. You know, sometimes Carol and I would come and write there. They didn't require you to write there. We wrote in a writer's room at home.
What makes a song a timeless song is basically the hook. If it's something that you just hear once and it just sticks with you.
I mean, I didn't know how good Carol really was then. Now I can see, you know. But until we had a hit, here I was, you know, with a job that paid $75 a week, and she was making $75 a week, and we have a kid on the way, and I thought, oh, the dirge, you know, and we're writing crummy songs, we can't get anything recorded, you know, it's all over, and then Wheel of Me Tomorrow came along. The record came out. Donnie Kirshner, who was a great publisher, gave us each an advance of $10,000. I remember Carol going through the whole, Jerry, you don't have to work anymore. Before the Beatles and Dylan and the Rolling Stones, we had 80 chart records in the space of 5 years.
What's important to say about Carol and indeed Jerry Goffin is that they wrote real songs. I mean, there was something you could get your teeth into. They were actually emotional songs.
Great melodies, yeah.
She's one of the best melody writers of the second half of the century, I think.
I think the real test is now to look back at her songs and see that they stand up. Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? People are still wondering that.
Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Take 1.
Tonight with words unspoken, you say now I'm the only one.
Tonight you're mine completely. Gave your love so sweetly. Tonight the light of love is in your eyes. Oh, will you love me tomorrow? Is this a lasting treasure? Just a moment of pleasure. Can I believe a man Tonight with words unspoken, you say now I'm the only one, but will my heart be broken when the night be some more than I know that your love, oh baby, your love I can be sure of. So tell me now that I'm alive. Oh baby, will you still love me tomorrow? Will you still love me tomorrow? Will you still love me tomorrow? Oh, baby, will you still love me? Will you still need me? In the night, I'll be there. I'll be there. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, maybe tomorrow. I'll be night. Will you still need me?
I'm sorry, I had a flashback.
Down to the 60s.
Yes, it was a 70s flashback, which is really strange.
Actually, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow was actually also before.
Oh, long before.
1970, but it was on the Tapestry album in 1971.
And I don't know where that song came from, judging by the songs we wrote previously, but it was certainly an elevation of our writing, you know. It's almost like it came from out there somewhere.
I've talked to enough songwriters to know that I think what I say is pretty true, and that is that the best songs, the best material comes through you and not from you.
Really, there's no mystical way of writing songs. You just sit around with a guitar. I'm sure Carol does the same at the piano. You either have a lyrical idea or a title for a song or a theme, and you try and thread the two together. You know, they really just fall out of the sky, as many songwriters have said. That's the way it happens. They just fall on your head.
LA is a great workshop. It is the entertainment capital of the world, and that was where the action was, so to speak. It had moved from New York. If we would have stayed married, we would have moved to California. Carol was influenced a whole lot by James Taylor. James played guitar, Carol played piano. Their music is not very similar, but she was influenced by that light rock and roll that James got into.
I don't know the details of how Carol came up with this record, but I suspect that her whole life was building towards Tapestry.
I think it was written at a time where there were a lot of grays around, you know. Everything was open to interpretation as opposed to a specific type of love song.
tapestry of rich and royal hue, an everlasting vision of the ever-changing view, a wondrous woven magic in bits of blue and gold, a tapestry to feel and see, impossible to hold. Once amid the soft silver sadness in the sky, there came a man of fortune, a drifter passing by. He wore a torn and tattered cloth around his leather hide, and a coat of many colors, yellow, green on either side. He moved with some uncertainty, as if he didn't know just what he was there for. Once he reached for something golden hanging from a tree, and his hand came down empty. Soon within my tapestry, along the muddy road, he sat down on a river rock and turned into a toad. It seemed that he had fallen into someone's wicked spell, and I wept to see him suffer, though I didn't know him well. As I watched him sorrow, there suddenly appeared a figure gray and ghostly beneath the flowing beard. In times of deepest darkness, I've seen him dressed in black. Now my tapestry's unraveling. He's come to take me back. He's come to take me back.
Right now, we just finished recording Tapestry, the title track from the Carole King album, Tapestry.
When she did the song, her version was basically piano, and our version has piano and strings and drums and 4 guys singing instead of 1 lady.
You know, and I think the Tapestry album was, if you like, the climax of what she was writing in those days, if you like, and she sort of outdid herself. It was just that the songs were just incredible. And so
I think it's a very simple album as well, because the production was very lean.
Reserved.
Well, it's funny because on Tapestry, a lot of the songs almost do sound like, they are reminiscent of the demos that we used to hear back in the 70s when we were looking for hit songs, because they were recorded in such a simple way. You know, Lou Adler, the producer, was very earthy, and that's, I'm sure he, you know, agreed with Carole on the direction of the album, that it should be simple and very earthy and almost demo-like.
And Carole used to make the demos on the majority of our songs. Sometimes we had a black singer come in if it was for a black artist, but that was the exception rather than the rule. And what he did was make Tapestry the way Carole made demos.
A lot of Jerry Goffin and Carole King songs were there's an innocence about them, and there's an innocence about young people being in love, and in that way I think it related to us very strongly, because I mean we were always in love. I mean, well, I in particular was
We didn't have any girlfriends.
I didn't have any girlfriends.
We were just always in love.
I was always in love.
There are very few like her, and she really captures, you know, an event or sort of like a snapshot of America.
1971, when Tapestry came out, same year as Rod Stewart's Every Picture Tells a Story came out. I've always recorded covers, you know, as well as my own material. You know, on the first couple of albums I recorded, I did, you know, 30% of covers, so it's second nature to me. I quite enjoy it.
The Rod Stewart song, So Far Away, was another song that I loved from the album. And I immediately visualized his voice singing that song.
It's slow and it's romantic, and I suppose it's got something to do with being, you know, if you are spending a lot of time on the road, it's relevant to musicians, I do think.
So far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It will be so fine to see your face at my door, and it doesn't help to know that you're just time away. Long ago I reached for you and there you stood. Holding you again could only do me good. Oh, how I wish I could, but you're so far away. Yeah. One more song about moving along the highway. I can't say much of anything that's new, but if I could only work this life out my way, I'd rather spend it being close to you. But you're so far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It will be so fine to see your face at my door, and it doesn't help to know you're so far away, so far away. Yeah, you're so far away. Oh yeah, yeah. Traveling around sure gets me down and lonely. Nothing else to do but close my mind, and I sure hope the road don't get to own me. There's so many dreams that I've yet to find, but you're so far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It will be so fine to see your face at my door, and it doesn't help to know you're so far away. You're so far away. Ooh, you're so far away. You're so far away. Oh, I need to get in touch with you, baby. You're so very, very, very far away. Oh, you're so, so far away.
Female singers were successful, but not that successful. And she showed the recording industry that if you have great pop songs and great lyrics, great melodies, at the same time accessible and commercial, which most of these songs are, you can have a mega selling album, and she did it. Before her, you had like Joan Baez and great singers, but the record sales weren't that big. In fact, right after that, I worked with Judy Collins and Carly Simon, and I think Carol really paved the way.
Carole King was one of the first female songwriters that I became aware of, because I was into pop music. That's what I was into, and I was writing myself. So she was a role model for me.
Carole King was a very big role model in 1971 for women. For the first time in a long time, she was singing to the soul.
A lot of the songs had a woman's point of view. Yeah. And I think that's what's important to remember.
You can relate to them. You know, I mean, I remember Might As Well Rain Till September, and a lot of women used to love that song. So, I mean, I think she just, you know, brought out something in the ladies that
But I was never under that impression. I always thought that it was an album for anybody who liked music, so I didn't think it necessarily just applied to women.
Yeah.
This is a song that was made popular in the U.S. and maybe here by Aretha Franklin. Looking out on the morning rain.
The song Natural Woman was written specifically for Aretha Franklin.
I'm coming out of this oyster bar in New York, and Jerry Wexler in his limo pulls up, says, "I got a great title for you, Natural Woman. How do you like that title?" I said, "It's a great title. I'll go home and I'll write a song with Carol." You know, a few days later, we come and play the song for Jerry. He says, "Well, that's not the way I would have written it," but he says, "We'll do it anyway." You know, and it took about a year before the record was finished. It's a classic record. You know, so many things just happen by chance.
Your love was the key to my peace of mind, 'cause you make me...
David Foster called me and he said, "I'm going to copy your strings because I love it. It's a part of the arrangement." I said, "I think so. It's part of the arrangement, but Ralph Burns wrote the strings."
That record that we made is one of my favorite records that I've ever made on anybody, with anybody, the Natural Woman song. I think we really caught a moment in time, too, just like Carol did 25 years ago.
I like it because he kept the original feeling. And of course, Celine is a fabulous singer, so she made the song natural.
Keeping in mind that we had the shadow of AF over us, Aretha Franklin, who, like, destroyed that tune. She killed it so badly and did such a great record.
Right now I'm in New York. I'm recording Natural Woman with Umberto Gatica, who's mixing the whole thing, makes everything sounds great. And David Foster is in Los Angeles, recording in LA.
Was that fine for you?
A lot of great stuff. We need to pick up a few more lines.
Technology is pretty straightforward. It's using the phone lines. I send the music to her. There's a delay, a built-in delay. You probably heard the little, 400 millisecond delay.
Do you want to move on to the bridge?
She basically sang the song. I directed her just as though she was in the next room. All the vocals were sent back to me over the phone lines. I got them all on the 48 track. I said, "Thank you very much." You guys went off and did your interview, and I took the 8 tracks of vocals and put it together the way I would if she had been in the next room.
A year and a half ago, I saw a special of Carole King, and it was the first. I have never seen her live in person, but I saw that show on TV, and it was a live show.
I didn't know just what was wrong with me, just what was wrong to your kiss. Help me now. I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. 'Cause if I make you happy, I don't need to do more.
And she sang Natural Woman, she sang love songs, and I was just amazed that she wrote all those fabulous, extraordinary songs. So a little while ago, when David asked me to be part of the Tapestry album, I said, I didn't even think about it. I wanted to be part of it. And he asked me to sing Natural Woman. I said, Natural Woman? Of course I want to sing Natural Woman. And I want to do that song with my own feeling. And I think this is very important. I don't want nobody to say, she did that song and look, she's trying to do like her, or she sounds like that singer, or no, I'm trying to feel the song the way I'm feeling it, closing my eyes, and I want to become the character of the song.
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, oh, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind, but you're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me free, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. When my soul was in the lost and found, you came along to claim it, and I didn't know just what was wrong with me. Oh, till your kiss helped me name it. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for, 'cause if I make you happy, I don't need to do more. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me free, you make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, baby, what you've done to me, what you've done to me, you make me feel so good inside.
So I don't know, maybe just the fact that I'm very much in love and I'm going to get married soon, that it just feels very strong. Feels kind of that song grows in me right now. It's part of me.
My name is Faith Hill. I'm a country singer, and I'm recording Where You Lead off of Carole King's Tapestry album.
Wanting you the way I do, I only wanna be with you. And I would go to the ends of the earth, 'cause darling, to me that's what you're worth.
Scott Hendricks, my producer, who's producing this side for us on this record. And he is having a blast working on this record because, you know, he is very much aware of the Tapestry album and all that it contains. I mean, there's some really timeless material on that record.
I didn't realize how much of an influence she was in my life until we got into doing this, and I'm very grateful for her talent.
It was pretty magical because it was something different, and everybody kind of sunk their teeth into it, and it really had a great time. And that's basically how we like to approach most anything, is let everybody relax and enjoy the music.
The song we're doing is Smackwater Jack from Tapestry.
I don't think there are really a lot of similarities between Manhattan Trans's version, Smackwater Jack, and Carole King's. Reef has really a different groove happening. Tim sings a lot of the lead, and he's assumed the role almost of a character.
I thought that the character, being an outlaw, I wanted to add some atmosphere, so I thought that maybe a sort of a Clint Eastwood spaghetti western type introduction, you know, with the desert wind blowing and the harmonica playing in the distance, you know, just to paint that picture. So we have 8 bars of atmosphere, and then the rhythm starts.
Now Smackwater Jack, he bought a shotgun, 'cause he was in the mood for a little confrontation. He just let it all hang loose. He didn't think about the news. He couldn't take no more abuse, so he shut down the congregation. You can't talk to a man with a shotgun in his hand.
Now Jim, the chief, stood for law and order. He called for the guard to come and surround the border. Now from his bulldog mouth, as he led a posse south, came the cry, we've got to ride to clean up the streets for our wives and our daughters.
You know you can't talk to a man when he don't wanna understand.
The account of the capture wasn't in the papers, but you know they hanged old Smack right there instead of later. You know the people were quite pleased because the outlaw had been seized, and on the whole it was a very good year
For the Undertaker. Hey, you can't talk to a man with a shotgun in his hand. Shotgun. No. Smackwater Jack.
was sort of like bad political writing, you know. It was aimed at Richard Daley and all the Chicago 7 and all that right-wing crowd who wanted to put all the hippies in concentration camps. You know. I sort of took the view that anyone who just gets out there and says everything's wrong with society gets it, you know, and they hung old smack.
As long as I can keep the spirit and the original intent of Carol's creation, and maybe add different kind of arrangements, that's what I would like to do. I would not like to lose the original feeling of the song.
It's sort of like looking at a photograph and then trying to take one of your own of the same subject. And
steady on.
That's very good, very profound.
It's very, very.
Damn, I don't think I can say anymore.
I think the best thing about doing some other person's song is that you are actually doing your interpretation of someone else's song, and I think it's nice to try and put your stamp on it if you can.
Do the second bridge too.
Probably a good idea. My name is Curtis Stigers. This is pretty exciting for me. This is not only is this a chance to pay homage to a hero of mine and a friend of mine, Carole King, but it's also a chance for me to sort of step away from what I do normally and do a song that doesn't have anything to do with me. I can sort of reinvent myself with this. It's a nice chance, which is sort of what it seems to me Carole did when she made this record, when she made the Tapestry record. And maybe I'm just fantasizing. She'll probably tell me that's not how it was at all. This song in particular, I really didn't get to know that well. I'd heard it, you know, people play this record all the time. I'd heard it, but I didn't get a chance to really dig in and see what it was made of, you know, and that's when you really get to know a tune, when you take it apart, when you play it on the guitar. I just sat home and played it on the guitar for the last couple of months, just trying to get the essence of the tune. She did it very, you know, just the piano, acoustic guitar, kind of early 70s folky. You know, obviously it's a good pop tune, but it's done very sort of folk-oriented. James Taylor played guitar on it. And I've gotten a chance to sort of put a little, you know, a little Ray Charles in it, a little bit of that background, that, you know, Joe Cocker, Ray Charles sort of vibe, you know, and a little bit of me, you know, obviously. Trying to, I took this tune and brought it home, brought it over to my house.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm ever gonna make it home again. It's so far out of sight. I really need someone to talk to, and nobody else knows how to comfort me tonight. Snow is cold, rain is wet, chill my soul right down to the marrow. I won't be happy till I can see you alone again, till I'm home again and feeling right. I can see you till I'm home again, till I'm home again and feeling right. Oh, feeling right. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Oh, come home again. I'm coming home. Coming home.
That's cool.
Lord!
Stuart and I seem to have a nice combination. I like to do things like now. I like to do it once, get it on tape, and go home. Stuart sort of keeps me in line. We started talking about this song in particular, and his eyes lit up. You know, oh, I love that song. And you know, if somebody loves a song, you know they're gonna be helpful to you when it comes time to record it.
2, 3. Oh, baby. You know, Carol's gonna like this. Carol, you're gonna like this.
Carol,
for you, baby.
It's for you, baby.
It's for you, baby.
You're swinging with us.
We love you,
Carol.
baby. Carol. Cool, huh?
When I saw her sing finally live last year, I realized also that I'd had a lot of her in my head, you know, bouncing around just from having heard it so much. I think she was surprised. I said, I really love your singing, and I never really noticed how much you influenced me until I saw you sing tonight.
She enjoys performing. But Carol would be the first one to say she's first and foremost a songwriter.
She's got it together. She had it together then, and she's got it together now.
I have seen her recently because I work with her son-in-law, who's also an excellent keyboard player and arranger. And she's happy, charming, witty, intellectual New Yorker, with a smile and a twinkle in her eyes.
We've done all kinds of different things.
All kinds.
All
from
just
hip operas
yeah,
to I mean bluesy kind of stuff. I mean everything.
To Carole King. Here we are.
Which is totally awesome.
Yep.
Came a long way, man.
I know.
Way over yonder is a place that I know, where I can find shelter from the hunger and cold, and the sweet taste and good life is easily found. Way over yonder, that's where I'm bound. That's where I'm bound. I know when I get there, the first thing I'll see is the sun shining golden, shining right down on me. Then trouble's gonna
is a place I have seen in a garden of wisdom from some long ago dream. I'll find my way to the land where the honey runs in rivers each day, and the sweet tasting good life is so easily found. Yes, it is. Way over yonder. That's where I'm bound. Talking about way over yonder. That's where I'm bound.
You know what? It seemed like she was just, I don't know, in some state of mind of just like, you know, just some place she envisioned that she could be or she'd want to be. It's very deep, and it's one of those songs that you can't take every song literally. And I think this is one of those songs where it's like, you know, when I sing it, it means something. When somebody else sings it, it means something else. You know, if you take things too literally, then, you know, you'll go crazy trying to figure out what somebody was thinking at the time. So you just feel what she was saying at the time. And, you know, I don't know what I felt, but I felt something. I felt really inspired to do this, man, and to sing the song the way I did. And it's, you know, I feel really good doing it.
A lot of these songs on this album have already been covered by a lot of different artists, and a lot of artists have actually pretty much used some of these songs as their trademark song. So, you know, they've gotten the once-over, you know, once or twice already, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see what everybody's done on, you know, all the tracks, you know, but I think the songs are just going to come shining through, you know.
With Aretha, you don't have to worry about too many vocal tracks because she comes in and sings a song. BB and CC had laid down their vocals, but it was a tentative idea because they wanted to sing together. However, Aretha went in and did a warm-up. It was so great. It reminded me of the old days. Jerry Wexler would say, "That's it, Aretha," and she would say, "No, no, no, I have to do it again." She wanted to do it again with BB and CC, of course, because that's what the whole thing is about, the energy between the three principals. So they went into that booth and they worked out the parts and they sang it again.
I kind of knew to begin with we had a great blend. I knew the blend was just going to work. It was just going to be perfect. And they've been a favorite in our family for a very long time.
We probably used most of the live stuff, and some of the stuff that was filmed maybe they won't sync up with it, but mostly we use the live stuff because that's what it is, you know, the old style, around one microphone, they do their balances together. Same way the Bee Gees did their own harmonies. One mic and they're all around it, and they feel the balance themselves. We don't have to play with three microphones. She gave us one or two more tracks. We were able to choose, you know, maybe a phrase or a line with her approval, and it was etched in, you know, blood after that. We didn't change anything.
It was a classic when Roberta and Donnie did it, and we've got another classic. No question about it.
BB and CC, they are like Mr. and Miss Warmth. They are just fabulous singers, and they bring the soul and the warmth, the professionalism, the great voices, you name it, everything combined, they add so much to the song, really.
I'm Cece Winans. That's who I am.
And I'm her older brother,
Yes.
BB. And we're doing the song You've Got a Friend, one of my favorites.
You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, running to see you again.
We sing about true love between the nations, and that's something that's missing. So it's so similar to what we sing about till it's almost like she wrote this song for us, you know, and we're just catching up to doing it.
They come along at a time, and I just really would like to say this, that I think this generation and young adults and adults need to hear what they're saying. And it's the Word and the Word of God. So I'm just delighted to be doing what we did today. I had a wonderful time.
Carol's music is timeless. I mean, I recorded, I had the privilege of recording her songs with Dusty Springfield, when I used to work with Jerry Wexler and Tom Dowd, with, of course, Aretha. We did You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. And I think she is part of American musical culture, and she's one hell of a poet and a fabulous composer.
Friends, you know, they're there in the good times.
Yeah.
And in the bad times.
When you're down and troubled, and you need some love and care, and nothing, no, nothing is going right.
Oh, close your eyes and think of me. And soon I will be there. Right now, even in the darkest night, you just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call,
And I'll be there. Yes, I will.
You got a friend.
Say it again now.
You got a friend.
Sing it, Rita.
If the sky above
Just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, 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 running to see you again. Oh, winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. And I'll be there. Yeah. And I'll be there. Yeah, yeah. You got a friend. You got a friend. You got a friend. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got a friend in me. Well, 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 you got a friend. I believe you got a friend.
We want to tell you this.
Well, 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 you can call me when you want me. Oh, yeah. You can call me when you need me. Oh, yeah, yeah. So just call me. 'Cause you got a friend. You got a friend.
There have been so many tribute albums to so many different people, it's almost become overdone. And we felt like here's a classic album with some of the greatest songs in history that uniquely lends itself to this type of tribute because of the fact that the songs are just, as I said, some of the greatest songs in history.
Carole King is first and foremost a songwriter, and I love nothing more than working with songs that are absolutely timeless. And to have them handled so well by the producers and the artists and the engineers and the musicians on this record, it was a joyride.
This was an opportunity for us to turn a whole new generation on and hopefully to have a type of impact like that on the lives of some of the younger people, and also for the type, for people like ourselves who are now in their 30s or 40s that may have experienced it when they were growing up or as college students the first time. We felt like they would be excited about hearing new interpretations of those great songs that meant so much to them when they were younger.
So I think for a lot of the artists to get involved in something like this and actually take advantage of recreating such a timeless piece and not take it too serious and have a lot of fun, because ultimately you can't redo the Tapestry album to perfection. It's been done and it's out there, and it was just a case of reinterpreting the versions 25 years later and hopefully letting the public have fun. I mean, the project's been about fun.